the best thing to come out of this show when it's like long gone and over and we're old is like the friendships.
All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of On Display with Melissa Gorga. You guys are going to love this one today because I have one of your favorites. She's an amazing writer. She's an incredible mother to 2 sets of twins, and she's one of the realest Real Housewives of New Jersey. Ladies and gentlemen, Mrs. Jackie Goldschneider is with me today.
What's up, everyone? Hi, Mel.
Hi. I can't believe you're a mother to 2 sets of twins. That's crazy.
It is crazy. Sometimes I can't believe it still. Like when I tell people still, they're like, what? 2? Like no one believes it.
That's a lot of work. Like when they were little, I'm like, holy cow, you had 2 sets of twins. Like you never had that time to just be alone with one. There was always 2.
Never. And I remember after I had Jonas and Aiden, my first set, I always said, I can't wait to see what it's like. Like I loved having twins, but I said, I can't wait to see what it's like to just have one baby at a time. And then I didn't get that. But, you know, I love the way my family worked out. So I'm happy.
You have a perfect family. I love your family. You have the sweetest kids. They were I'll never forget when you first joined the Real Housewives of New Jersey. Like everybody, right? Like, of course you've seen the show before and like your daughter was so cute the first time you guys came to my front door. She's like, hi.
Oh, my God.
Can I sleep over tonight?
About that. She loved you. I know. And she was so little. Like my boys now are turning 15, but they celebrated their 10th birthday on the show. And I know you, oh my God, like yours are like babies.
Yeah. Crazy. I was just thinking about that too. Well, Jackie and I both actually were at a premiere party last night for this first episode of the Real Housewives of New Jersey. So much fun. Just good vibes, right, Jack? Did you have a good time last night?
It was so much fun. In fact, I told Evan, because Evan couldn't go. And I said, I'll be home by like 10:15 because I'm going to come home right after the episode. And before I knew it, it was past 11 and I'm still there and I was having so much fun. It was great. It was really
We had a good time. We had a good time. Honestly, Rachel, I will say Rachel Fuda is the one who threw the party because, you know, she's new to this all and she wanted to have it's exciting, right? You remember when it first happens for you. It's exciting. You're like, holy crap, I joined. I'm going to be on like this TV show. So she kind of wanted to do the party. I was like, really? I want to be home in my sweatpants with my...
You see, I was very happy to be out last night because last night was a little bit hard for me. And I'll tell you, I totally was fine. You know, like it was the right decision for me to take a step back this season. It was a hard decision and and I came to terms with it by the time we started filming. But then that first few times we were filming, I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? You know, like after all these years, what am I doing? You know, what does a friend do? Like, how am I in the room, but I'm not really like in the room, you know?
Right.
So last night, the first thing I'll say is that last night I was happy to be surrounded by so many people who I love and who I wanted to celebrate with because I wasn't home going like watching by myself and like, you know, just grunting, you know, which I probably would have been because
when you had so much love.
Weird.
Right.
Yeah, it was like weird, but I did like today, you know, I try not to go down a rabbit hole with social media, but today some of the comments, they were like, oh my God, Jackie obviously felt like unimportant because she told Rachel, you're not looking at me. And like, you know what? I'm going to fucking own it. Yes. Those first few times I walked in and I'm like, I'm not important anymore. And like after a few times I was like, oh wait, I am important. And like, I got into the groove and everything. But like when Rachel wasn't talking to me, and I love Rachel, but like when she wasn't talking to me during that conversation, I was so angry. I was so mad.
I know. I was the one standing there and you know how much I love you. Right. And Rachel was a friend of mine, like obviously from our kids at school and everything. And I'm like, I felt your pain for a minute because I knew where you were coming from. It was like the first time you've ever entered a situation and been like, wait a second, what's my role here? Right. And I get that it's like a little sensitive and a little like, It's like odd. I get it. I totally get it. And I do love
Yeah.
and appreciate. This is why I just introduced you as the realest, Real Housewife of New Jersey, because I love that you just said that. And it's Jack, it's the truth, right? It's an awkward
Yeah, and
thing.
I'm good with it now, but it was really awkward. And like when I said that, I was hurt and I was like, I didn't know what I was doing. And like I went home from that scene and I told Evan, like, I'm not important, I'm not important. And like eventually, like I realized like I'm just in a different role, And so I got, I actually had a great season and I loved this season. But those first few rounds of filming, they were like weird.
I get it. And I feel like that
Yeah.
was our very first all cast event that we were
Yes.
all at.
Uh-huh.
And
Yep.
that was the first time you were ever meeting Rachel or
No, we
Danielle.
had the roller skating. And
Oh,
there
right.
also, though, I wasn't even in like that many conversations. So I was already like on edge. But you'll see. I mean, I haven't seen any more episodes, but within the next few episodes, like I like warm up. And then I really forgot like the whole friend thing by like the middle of the season.
No, I think you rock it, whatever this friend thing is or whatever. I didn't sense it from you
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
season. Like I felt like
Yeah.
you were there the way you're always there. You were
Right.
in every scene. You were at every, like you were with us the whole time.
Yeah.
Like I didn't sense you not there any more than I ever did before. I know personally you're probably not filming as much.
No, yes, I had no personal storyline, which was probably better for me personally this season, just to give me time to recover privately, you know. But yeah, by after like the first few weeks, I was rocking it. So
And you're taking this time. I mean, it is a little bit of a relief, no, to have like not the pressure of like the personal thing breathing down your neck.
during the season, yes. Although I will say I was so happy to put my story out there. But it was more effective for my recovery to be able to do all my therapy privately. I was happy to do it publicly, but being able to schedule it on my own time and go in privately and say things that were maybe a little bit more, embarrassing or private, being able to do that without cameras was maybe better because I wasn't doing so great until I turned a corner sometime like late summer.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, let me ask you this. What was your impression of the episode? Like, what did you feel overall, like going into it? What were your thoughts?
Last night's episode, or the first
Yeah,
episode.
like last night's episode. What did you
Yeah.
feel? Give me some of your rundown from it, the way if you were just talking to me and we weren't on this podcast right now.
Right. Okay. I felt like it was a lot of fighting. I don't feel like it was. I felt like it was a great episode because people love the drama. You tune into New Jersey for the drama. I feel bad because you're my friend, and like I don't like to see you upset, and I don't like to watch Louis call you names, and I don't like. I don't know. I don't like it was a little nasty for me. I
Right.
didn't like seeing Jen call Dolores an old handbag. Like I just think it goes a little like it gets a little like mean. Like it's really like the whole episode was great, but it was a lot of fighting. It wasn't enough like fun stuff. And we had
Yeah.
fun at the roller skating party. I wish they showed more fun. But it was a great episode.
Yeah, I had fun at the roller skating party. That's like my thing. And I feel like it's always the beginning is never as like at the first event is always a little bit more chill. And then by the second event, everyone's like in the groove and hearing the stories and knowing what people are saying. And that's when everything starts to really like unfold. For me, even just like hearing Louis said what he said, I'm like, wait, I think I've at this point only been to dinner with a guy maybe 3 to 4 times. Like I've had like I feel like he just got here and to have such an impression of us and like feel like what the funniest part to me was when Louis says that we're insecure and then cut to the next scene and Joe is literally oiling his whole body with like olive oil to pose and take a picture. I'm like, oh yeah, he's real insecure. This one, like you got
But you
the
know what?
wrong people.
Also, as like if I was observing from an outside perspective, I felt like Teresa, you could clearly see that she's happy, which is great. Like if I'm like an outside observer,
Right.
which is great. I mean, you want her to be happy, but it seemed like she got this new family, and like, so she's like very happy to like quickly replace her old family. And it's like a little bit like jarring to see that, like both can coexist, and you should want everything to coexist. You don't like get rid of one when you get a new one, you
Right.
know?
And I think that was like, that's where it gets sad for Joe. Even more than it's sad for us and the kids. I think Joe is where that's why. And as this whole season, Joe is extremely sad. He barely films. He just doesn't want anything to do with a lot of it. And I think, I don't think, like, I don't think she understands. Like, that's great. You can have this whole family and love your new sister-in-laws and love all of that, but that doesn't mean you get rid of another family. I don't understand. Like, I feel like siding when it comes to my sister-in-law is huge. Like, it's like sides. You're either here or there. Like, she doesn't know how to do both, you know?
Yeah. And it's really Joe who's suffering because I mean, I was with your family last night, and there's like no better family. I mean,
Oh,
your
thank you.
sisters and your mom and your kids, like they are just salt of the earth. And you have and your cousins, and like, I know all of them. I
I
love
know.
them. And like your aunts and your uncles, like I just love everyone. And like, you have so many people, but for Joe, like that's it. Well, he is your
Right.
family. So you know what? Things work out the way they're supposed to, and you can't control everything. And look, I don't have a relationship with my sister. And sometimes it doesn't upset me that I don't have my sister, but it upsets me that my parents don't have everyone together ever.
Right.
So that's probably the same thing for you. Is like, it doesn't upset you that you don't have a relationship with Teresa, but it upsets you that your husband has to suffer for it.
Exactly. And sometimes when I look at him when he least expects it or he doesn't even realize, I can see the sadness in his eyes. And that's the hard part. And obviously being on the show, that's like it's always highlighted and it's so crazy. I'm also seeing a little bit of like the comments today and like I watched Watch What Happens Live last night and I was very glad that like,
Oh yeah, you
80% of
killed
the
it. Yeah.
yes, like they were totally understood, my side with Joe. But
Mhm.
like there's still like the crazy people on Instagram and Twitter that are like relentless and like Teresa's putting out some I don't know tweets and or texts now trying to like fill in blanks. I just feel like people are really chasing their tails. I feel like the people on our cast who are really yelling and screaming and like all over Instagram like savages just trying to like defend themselves and go harder and collect their fans to like rip on us and go at us all day. It's because you're spiraling, right? It's because you're feeling like you're losing or you're falling, or else why would you do that? When I'm fighting back, Jack, if I go in there and start fighting back and putting out my text, because trust me, there's texts that people haven't seen yet either, right? But I just don't know if I want to go there. I really
No,
don't.
I think you rise above, and you're going to be miserable if you can't let go of the show when it's not on.
You know what, Jackie? All of this, it reminds me of a quote from a movie that Joe and I saw the other day.
Yeah.
Like the quote was, it's a dangerous thing to mistake speaking without thought for speaking the truth.
Oh, I love that. That is spot on.
Makes so much sense. So anyway. All right, guys, we know how hard it is to stick with working out. I know with all the runaround, getting out of the house specifically to work out is just so hard sometimes. Well, let me tell you about Peloton. Everyone knows that Peloton makes bikes, right? But they are so much more than that. They also make treadmills and have tons of other classes like yoga, strength training, and boxing. Peloton offers thousands of on-demand classes. They're available 24/7. That means you can work out whenever, wherever it's convenient for you. And what's more convenient than right in your own home? Also, you don't have to be a super athlete to enjoy Peloton because there are classes for every single level. Whether you exercise daily or you're new to working out, Peloton can help you achieve your fitness goals. Try Peloton risk-free with a 30-day home trial. New members only, not available in remote locations. See additional terms at onepeloton.com/home-trial. Go ahead and give it a try. You guys are not going to regret this ride. But anyway, moving on. Is there any other thing you want to wrap up about the premiere before we talk about other things? Like, is any other thoughts,
About the
anything you want to
premiere,
get out on your side?
I was very, very happy that Evan Goldschneider won the poll on Watch What Happens Live. 60%. My apologies to Joe Gorga because he did look very hot, but
Yes,
my Jewish man took it, and I was very
everybody
proud of
loves
him.
your husband. Everybody, and all the men I will say looked very handsome during that
They
shoot.
did. They looked
But
great.
everybody loves your husband. They think he's a great guy. Everybody loves both of you guys as a couple. They really do.
Yeah. Well, like this show and these shows, you never know what could happen. And so like I'm trying not even to like worry about anything. Like people say to me, "Are you coming back full time? Are you going to stay a friend?" I don't know. Whatever Bravo wants me to do, I'm happy because I love Bravo. I love the show, and whatever happens, happens. I love the episode. It was great. Um, I want more fun and more light, but it is what it is. And it's very Jersey, and it was a very Jersey episode. And I hope people liked it. I think people did.
Okay, good. Well, can we talk about your health for a minute and how great you
Yes.
look and how good you're
Oh, thank
doing?
you. Thank you.
I also know
Yeah,
you have very strong opinions on the Ozempic.
I
So
do. Oh, I could talk about it all day. You don't even want to get me started.
but I think people are interested in it right now. And I have a lot of friends and people who just like want to jump into it. And I was like, wait, Jackie had very strong opinions on this
Oh
stuff.
God.
First of all, tell me how
Yes.
you're doing. You look amazing.
Thank you. Okay, I'll tell you what the difference was for me. So when I started recovery, I was like, I wasn't eating anything. I mean, like I used to save all my like calories for like one meal where I was eating in front of people. And then that's why people were like, well, I saw you eat. Like, yeah, you saw that one meal, right?
Right. I always saw you eat.
Because I saved it when we would go out. So I needed to learn how to eat food. Like I wasn't eating anything. I was eating like air, anything with like very low calories. So I learned how to eat, and I was eating new foods and everything. And I was like, but I still don't feel okay. Like I hated myself. I hated what I saw. I was like, okay, like I gained a lot of weight and I was healthy and my heart rate came up and all that good stuff happens to my body. But when I would look in the mirror, I was like, and this is like a full year into recovery. This was like beginning of last summer. I was like, but I hate what I see. And I was always grabbing my body parts. And I'm like, God, how do I get rid of this? What do I do about this?
Uh,
And it wasn't until I really came around to like embracing being a bigger size and loving until I was comfortable looking in the mirror and being like, this is my body and it's strong and it had 4 kids and I love it. And like, it's womanly now and it's doing what it needs to do. Until I came around to that, I was not recovered, and that was really what switched it for me. So I'm doing great. I love my body. I love my shape. I love my new life. There's so many things that I want to tell you. I took on a really big project this year. You know what it is. I could start talking about it like next week, but
big announcement next week from
big
Jackie.
announcement.
And actually, that I'm very excited for you for.
Yes.
We're not going to say what it is,
Yeah.
guys, but she has something
Right.
very big
But I
coming
will
out
have a
next week.
lot more to say about recovery when that happens. But
Right.
I am doing great. And thank you so much for that. Thank you. You've always been so super like supportive and such a great friend. And like, that's so important that like the best thing to come out of this show when it's like long gone and over and we're old is like the friendships with you and Margaret and,
I love that.
Jen,
I
and
love
like we're just really good friends, I
You
love
got
that.
really close with Jen Fessler. You guys love each other.
Yes. Oh my God. We're on the phone. Like I don't talk on the phone to anybody and I'm on the phone with her like an hour a day. I love her so much.
She's
Okay.
hysterical.
So Ozempic.
Yes, I need your opinion because I know you have it. And I think there are people like teeter-tottering out there saying, should I do it? Should I not do it?
Yes. Okay.
Give me the wrap, Jack. Give it to us.
Here's the thing. I am not judging anybody wanting to be skinny. I get it. I fucking get it more than anybody gets it. It is like, it's people's lifelong dream to be skinny. And here comes this drug where it's like a free lunch. Like you just go on it and you're skinny really quickly and you can supposedly eat whatever you want. Fine. It's a fucking miracle. The reason that I have such a visceral reaction to it is because I was so sick for so long, for 18 years. Like I was stuck in this massive eating disorder where I couldn't see straight and I was so upset if I would gain like a half a pound. If and when people have to go off of this drug, they are going to spiral because you gain back, like all the studies show that you gain back not just what you lost, but 1.5 times what you lost. So if you lost 30 pounds, you're going to gain back 45 because not only does your appetite, so Ozempic does a few things to you to make you lose weight. But one of the things that it does is it slows down your digestion so much that you're full. You're full from the littlest amount of food. So you're not only not hungry, but like you can't even look at food, you know? So you lose a lot of weight. Plus it speeds up your metabolism. It burns fat, right? So when you go off of it, you're voraciously hungry. Your appetite comes back so much stronger. So you really like go into like a binge eating, but your metabolism slows down and all the things that were working before are not like working as efficiently now. So you gain back a lot of weight. I think you had Remy Bader on your podcast, right? Did you?
Yes.
Yeah, she talked about this a few months ago. Like she gained back 1.5 times what she lost when she went off of it. My concern is that I know how horrible an eating disorder is, and I'm just so afraid of what's going to happen to all of these people who were really normal around food before and just really kind of wanted to get skinny, are suddenly really not going to know. Can you imagine losing some weight and then all of a sudden like instantly going off a drug and being fat? Like it's got to be so jarring, and I can't imagine,
So you're saying if people go on this, they have to stay on it for life or else they're just
for
going to
your
gain it back.
whole life. And there's no studies on Ozempic or semaglutides, which is what the drug is, on people who, did you see Evan come in?
I see Evan. Hi, Evan. Evan's walking past.
Oh, because I got my headphones.
Oh, okay.
So there's no studies on people who take it without having diabetes. That's Ozempic. There are drugs that are not made for the diabetes, but Ozempic's the main one that people are using. And there's no studies on how it affects people's bodies who don't have diabetes. So people are really like taking a mystery drug. They are. Yes, it's safe when you have diabetes, but it's really a new drug too. It was only studied, I think, for 64 weeks or something like that. So I hope that people don't have any terrible reactions to it. But, if and when people have to go off of this, you're going to have so many people with eating disorders. And that's what breaks my heart. And that's why I don't want anyone who really doesn't need the drug to start it.
Right. I knew that if I asked you about it, which I did just in our normal, everyday friendly conversations that we have, I'm like, Jack, because I knew that you were going to do like an inside out study on this because you're into all this stuff, right? And weight loss and just, you're a reader. I feel like you go in and I was like, I know Jackie's going to give me all the answers and whether this is good or whether this is bad. But these are all studies that you read.
Yes, these are all, I did deep dives on this, but also from a recovered person's standpoint, it's very painful to, like, I have a lot of friends who are now on Ozempic.
Right.
They were people that I used to go out with and I used to watch them eat. And I'd say, God, one day I'm going to be able to enjoy food the way that you do. And I'm not going to worry about every bite. And I'm not going to wake up with debilitating guilt. And now I go out with those people and they don't fucking eat. They don't eat. And it's like, it messes with my head because I'm like, wait a second. You were the ones I looked to because you had such a normal relationship with food and now you don't eat. Your appetite is gone. You don't enjoy food anymore. So it's like messing with me a little bit,
Yeah, no, I know. And listen, I'm not going to deny that I have some friends and family, very close ones that are on it as well. And I do worry. And I say to myself, like, guys, I hope this doesn't, like when you get off it, I guess there's like this maintenance plan you can go on as well. But I do think there's a lot of people out there, celebrities as well, that are just totally denying that they are on any type of anything. But it's amazing how everyone recently is just shrinking.
So skinny. Evan, come say hi.
They're just shrinking. Let me say hi to Evan.
Baby. Hold on.
Hola.
Hi, Evan. How are you?
Good. How are you?
I'd like
Good
to
to
be
see
the
you.
first to
Evan won the
congratulate
sexy
you.
man poll last
What?
night.
Yes,
Who'd I win
you
against?
won. You won the hot man poll last night. What
Hot
was the
man
actual
poll?
question, Jack?
How many times did my mom vote?
It was your mother.
My
It was your
She
mother.
always thinks I'm sexy.
Unbelievable.
Sorry.
Bye.
If I get nude right here.
So yeah, so that's my Ozempic take. And I'm not judging anyone who's on it because I get it, but I feel I'm nervous for the world, because even the maintenance phase, you have to keep taking it,
Right. And if you read positive things, you might have taken it. What do you think?
Oh, if this was around when I was a kid,
Oof.
when I was a teenager, I would have been on it in a heartbeat and I would have had to stay on it forever. If this was around when I was anorexic, yeah, I would have taken it.
Oh my goodness. And that's scary.
Oh, for
right?
sure. I would have been the first one on it.
That's scary.
Mm-hmm.
On Display with Melissa Gorga is brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Let's face it, sometimes multitasking can be like overwhelming to say the least. Like when your favorite podcast is playing and the person next to you is talking and your car fan is blasting, all while you're just trying to find the perfect parking spot. But then again, sometimes multitasking is easy, like quoting with Progressive Insurance. They do the hard work of comparing rates so you can find a great rate that works for you, even if it's not with them. So if you give their really cool comparison tool a try, you might just find getting the right rate and coverage you deserve is so easy. All you need to do is visit Progressive's website to get a quote with all the coverages you want, like comprehensive and collision coverage or personal injury protection. You'll see Progressive's direct rate and their tool will provide options from other companies all lined up and ready to compare. So it's so simple to choose the rate and coverage that you like. Press play on comparing auto rates. Quote at progressive.com to join the over 29 million drivers who trust Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Comparison rates not available in all states or situations. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Hey everyone, this is Heather Dubrow, and do I have some exciting news for you? We are launching a variety of new episodes that are going to have amazing special guests, some of my close friends, and so much more. It's going to be really fun, and we're going to get to hear from fans, new friends, and get an inside look of my world. We're really excited for you to listen and join in for Heather Dubrow's World on Podcast One. Episodes drop on Thursdays and Fridays. Tune in on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts.
Speaking of and seeing your handsome, supportive husband, how has he been through all of this? Is he like secretly happy that you don't have to do it like as much in the spotlight? How do you think?
Oh, you mean the friend thing?
Well, just to be like on the show and everything. I feel like, listen, one thing about Evan, I feel like he supports you. You two together, which I'm just going to say a lot of people don't know. They like hug and kiss all the time. They're always holding hands. I feel like Evan speaks. No, you guys have a really great relationship.
Really, really,
Evan speaks so like softly to you all the time. And it's like kind of like,
and I do too. We're good to each other. We're very good to each other. And we give each other a lot of like room to do the things that make us happy. Like he taught at Georgetown this year. He taught in the business school at Georgetown. And so he left every week for like 36 hours. And like, I just was so happy to like do everything with like the kids would go and like, I wouldn't get out of my car for 36 hours because I was driving to practices and everything. But like, it made me so happy to see him doing something that gave him so much joy and he loved it. He's the same with me. Like when the whole friend thing, he was like, whatever you want to do. Like he's like, I'll be there. And every time like we were filming something, I said to him, like, this year, like you have a choice, you don't have to be there. And he was always there and he always came and he always wanted to support me, like he's just the best.
Has he always just been a super supportive husband with all this, or did it take some time to get there? Like, was he always
it took a minute. First season, really didn't want to be like a big part of it. I think he was worried that it would affect his like standing and like he's in a high position in finance and I don't think it's wanted corporate,
right? Corporate
world.
And
he didn't know how it would be received, but like it was received great. And like he also doesn't do anything embarrassing on the show. He doesn't get in fights and so
You know, he's
One fight.
he's not going to be like Joe and embarrass the shit out of you.
But he loves your Joe. Oh, he loves the guys. And the guys make it easy to want to be a part of it because that guy group, Joe Gorga, Joe Benigno, Frank Catania, and Evan just love each other. And now
you know
John
what it is?
Fuda,
They're good men. All of them are great husbands. They're great people. They're fun. And they have there's no sneakiness about them. They lay it on the table. The men on Jersey really are like phenomenal. It's like the best part of it, really. People love our show, Jack, because of these men too. Like they love that.
I know.
They love that. And then when you guys came on board, I know originally he was like, no way, this is not for me. But then once I remember we warmed him up a little bit. And then he would crack a joke here and there. And then he would say something funny. I'm like, oh, look at Evan. He's warming up. And then,
you know what? It was like by season 2, we had him. And then season 3 knocked him out of the park. Like he was like,
wow. He put the brakes on. And I know that was a really hard time for you guys.
He was like, yeah, this is not what I signed up for. So yeah, that was a rough season.
Yeah. And I
lost Evan Goldschneider there.
I give you so much credit for forgiving a lot of that and like understanding where a lot of that came from, because that was a ruthless rumor. And that was like just a ruthless thing to happen at a birthday party. And you were forgiving eventually about that. So, you know, God bless you.
Because it was too hard to keep it going. It was too hard to hold on. I was so sad and it was making me sicker. I was really like, it was not good for me. You know?
Well, see, so I always say that when you hold on to grief and anger, you actually become more angry. So it's like, a lot of these people and, you know, family members that were just like talking about the past 24 hours a day. I'm like, how angry? It must be hard to go to sleep at night with all that anger inside.
Well, if the anger sits here, right? If you leave the anger in your chest and you just like bury it there and let it sit there and you don't like let it go, then it's always there. You know, like with every breath you take, that anger is a part of it, you know? So if you don't let it go and really move past, then you're always going to be angry.
That's such a good angle. Yeah. It really is. Like, it's such a good angle to take. And I feel like some people are not born that way. Sometimes you have to like learn that behavior. You have to be taught to like, listen, this is not healthy. This is not going to give you the best quality life. Like, and you can learn that behavior. But I feel like sometimes people just like, you can't learn it. Like you're born that way and they're born the other way, you know? And it's like, they can't get out of their own way. I'll never understand like people bite their nose to spite their face. Right. And it's just like, it's one of those things. And I'll never understand it, but I guess that's what makes the world go round. We're all different for our own reasons, you know?
You can't control other people. So you just gotta control your reaction because you can't control how other people are going to behave.
Yeah, no, I agree. Well, listen to me. We love you so much on the Real Housewives of New Jersey. I am so excited for this, you know, release you have coming out next week. We're not going to say what it is,
me
guys.
Too. I know.
I am very proud of you.
Thank you.
I'm very happy for you. And I always think you are just like a strong, like smart. I really do appreciate you've always been a great friend and someone that I can trust. And that to me is very like, you have great qualities as a girlfriend. You really, really do.
Thanks, Mel. Well, I love you and you know that. You know,
and I love your family. You know,
and you're going to come out on top. You always do.
Well, thank you. Thank you. And I want to tell all the viewers of the Real Housewives of New Jersey, do not feel like you're going to miss Jackie at all this season.
I'm there.
She's there. She's there.
I'm in your
everything.
face all season.
Yes.
I know the scenes that we filmed and I know that there's some good stuff coming. So
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for today. I knew you were going to be great anytime, and good luck with everything happening next week. And I'm going to see you soon.
Yes, I'll see you soon. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye, honey.
All month long on Pluto TV, stream the biggest Tyler Perry movies free. Watch your favorites like Medea's Witness Protection and Medea's Big Happy Family. Join Tyler Perry as he goes on a couples retreat with Sharon Leal in Why Did I Get Married? Or Idris Elba and Gabrielle Union in the Tyler Perry directed film Daddy's Little Girls. Plus, Pluto TV has hundreds of channels with thousands more movies and TV shows. Available on live and on demand. Download the free Pluto TV app on all your favorite devices and start streaming now. Pluto TV. Drop in, watch free.